All right, good morning, everybody. It's Bratwire Gaming here. We're going to do an interview this morning with TE, which is Trinsic Empire. So basically, what we're trying to do with the channel is make a kind of a library for people that are new to the game to come and look through the library and kind of find what kind of guild they think they want to join. So by doing that, we're going to have, maybe we might have 50 guilds in this library. We're not sure. We're shooting for as many as we can. We're booked back like 5-6 weeks now, so there's lots of interest in it. So that's what we're trying to do with the channel and get information out to new players to try to help bring people into the game. So they're not lost when they come in. So they have an idea what every guild does and who they are and where they are on the map, that kind of thing. So I'm gonna just go ahead and introduce Monique. She's a big part of the channel here for me, and I'll let her speak on what she does for the channel right now.
Yeah, hello guys. My name is Monique, and I'm just helping out Bratwire with Twitch channel, Discord channel, and also I'm here to play video games with him. So it's all about having a good fun. So
Yeah. All right, so we're going to introduce Morg. He's the guild leader. He's going to talk about himself a little briefly and then introduce his officers. So we're going to turn it over to him right now. Go ahead, Morg.
Hail. Hi, everyone. Thanks for having me. I am Mordred. I am guild leader of the Trinsic Empire. I have with me here Sir Gareth, who's one of our officers, as well as Grimscar, who's one of our champion. So the way Trinsic Empire works is you start as a recruit and the next level up is champion. So Grim's one of our champion, and I feel like we are well represented here with having, some officer and then someone like Grimscar as well to kind of give everyone an idea of what it's like to be a part of TE.
Go ahead there, Sir Gareth.
Hey everybody, I am Sir Gareth. I handle a lot of the recruitment for TE, and I do a lot of the background administrative work with one of our other leaders who was not able to join us here. It's a good time so far. Been spending with TE, and we hope that this interview lets everybody know a little bit more about us and bring some clarity to who we are.
All right, Grimscar, you can go ahead.
Hey, good morning, everybody. This is Grimscar. As I said, I am one of the newer members of Trinsic Empire. Bring a lot of knowledge from MO1. I like to help out some of the guys, as well as they've been pretty good at helping me out too. Kind of explore the map and help guide people around to learn this new map. It's quite vast.
Okay, thank you. So what we're going to talk about now, we just kind of want to talk about what the guild is about, and I want like Mord to do that, and then pass it on to maybe his officers as well, so we can get a few different perspectives of the guild. Go ahead there, Mord.
So I guess you're kind of asking something more like, are we the good guys or the bad guys, or how do we operate, right?
You layer out the ethos of your guild, basically, so far in the game.
Yeah. Well, we're definitely not the bad guys. I think we're one of the only groups that will roll up on you 10 deep and not touch you. And we've heard that before, like, oh yeah, I was tripping out because I saw a big group of you guys rolling through, and then I saw it was you, so I realized I wasn't in danger. So that's kind of what we want to put forth, is that we are the good guys. We're not the bad guys. We're not out there to kill random players. But that said, we're also a PvP guild of sorts. We have different sides, definitely. We have a lot of people that like gathering and people that are looking forward to doing more PvE, player versus monster, and stuff like that. But we do have a very strong PvP side. So we have been a little bit political and have picked up guilds that are friends, allies. And we've also picked up guilds that are not friends. And so if we happen to roll up and see a person or a guild that is on that list, we definitely seek to player versus player those people, but never to the sense that we want to grief or push people to logging out or anything like that. A lot of times we were talking about this last night. Like we killed a couple of people and we just straight walked their gear right back to them and handed their gear back to them, because I feel like we really push for understanding that content is huge, and having players come back and do a second fight is huge. And of course, there's times where you can dry loot a player or delete his stuff because they've been an ass, but other times we try to be good. We have this thing called the Trinsic code that we like to abide by, which is respect all duels, defend yourself, defend your guildmates and your allies, defend the weak, and be humble in victory and defeat. And so we don't like to say like we are, ARPK or RPK. So many people are so stuck to definitions. We like to be like, this is the code that we live by. And we found that you can catch a lot of fights living by just that code right there. So that's
a good
kind of
code,
my
dude.
sum up.
Very nice, very nice. Sir Gareth, if you want to add to that, go ahead.
I don't have too much to add, actually. That was a really good description of everything. Big portion I will like to put in about like our recruitment process and the people that we have is one of the big things that we like to focus on is everybody else's want to be with us. So we don't necessarily go around asking people to join us. We put our name out there, we kind of put out a bit about us, and then we want you guys to come see us. We want you to hang out with us, and if you want to join at that point, it's going to be on you. The people that want to be here are the people that bring the best content, they bring the best attitude. So that's kind of what we strive to pull in.
So in the recruiting part, then you guys are open for like old, new players, brand new, like completely off the street guys.
Okay. Yeah, we're open to everybody. And we do a lot of trade and contract services. So really, you don't even have to be looking to join our guild to join our Discord. We want those people to come in and offer those kind of services too. We want to be a big part of the community of Knave as a whole.
Yeah, I would say the top of the funnel is open. We'll take anybody and everybody as long as you're not out there, trying to grief people off the server or, out there doing things that are against our code or not willing to change that if you're going to join with us. So we'll take everybody.
If they're caught griefing, then you warn them type of thing, or you just boot them right away?
No. See, that's the thing is we're not like black white. So we'll talk to the person and we'll say, okay, what happened? And then they tell us their side, and then we'll talk to the other person. Okay, what happened there?
Yeah.
And get their side. And then if we feel there's a warning, we'll just say, hey, don't do that again. This is why we think you made a bad decision there. And we try to have our guys use the code. Now, there's been some people where it's like, dude, that was obvious. You shouldn't have done that. Don't do it again. And then they've done it again, and those people have gotten the boot. But most people get it. Most people act right.
Yeah.
I think we've only lost like 2 members that way right now. So I'd say most people, are willing to change, and they actually want to be on the quote unquote good side of things.
Yeah. Well, living by a code like that you guys laid out is pretty amazing, right?
Yeah, I think it's the best thing because I don't like to be like, these are the rules, because then what happens is you end up being the judge the whole time, and it's like, it is work. So the better thing is just to be like, hey, use some common sense. You walk up to a guy in the dungeon, look at the code. Is he dueling? Okay, I'll leave him alone. If he's not, do I need to defend myself against him? No. Is he a guildmate or ally that I need to protect? No. Okay. Is he weak? I'll help him. I mean, it's pretty easy. And a lot of people are like, oh, well, I don't know if I'm going to get enough PvP. Like, oh my God, ask any of our guys if we get enough PvP. Like, we're catching fights left and right, and still being the good guys,
Yeah. I think the code thing is amazing for sure. That's really stuck out just from talking to you guys in that like the last 10 minutes. It's really caught my ear. Grim, if you want to add anything to that about being a new recruit and coming into the guild and how open they are towards you.
Yeah, I can say, they originate the core from Ultima, and I didn't really meet any of the guys until here. And day one, when I first got accepted, I had a group of 5 people running out of Tendron with me to help me go get a horse and get started into the game, and they were very friendly. Everybody's very open. If you need something, they all just kind of jump on the board. If you don't know something, they educate you, and they're always open to learn new things themselves too. It's been a very warm and inviting environment.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah,
So
I would say that
go
we
ahead.
try. I would say that we try and foster that because, for myself, like, uh, I'm sure people can kind of relate. Like, if you've done like CrossFit or if you've done any martial arts or anything like that, usually when you walk
Mm.
into those type of gyms, everybody's so willing to help because they know
Yeah,
it's like such a big step for you to even be there, and so people will like bend over backwards to help you. And I've come from those kind of backgrounds, and we try to like foster that here. Like when people join our Discord, there's like 5, 6 people that are like, "Hey, welcome. How's it going? Hey, hey," because we want
yeah,
people to be like, "Oh, dude, I can come here and just kick it and have friends." And then
yeah,
they're like, "Oh, I want to join the guild." And that's how you get the
yeah,
best members.
yeah. Because I'm finding a lot of times that people coming into the game right now want to play solo, and they're shy almost to get in people's discords right now. So when you have a Discord that's very active and people are talking to you right away when you come in and asking you, do you need help? Do you want player builds? Yada yada yada. I think that's a big step for guilds right now because we didn't really have so much of that in MO1. If
Hmm.
you remember, it was quite you're new, we don't care about you type of thing, right?
Yeah, actually, I played MO1 once. I went out I went out to the graveyard, and some dude rolled up with a big old hammer and just one shot me, and I was like, "All
Yeah,
right, I'm going back to UO." I played
and
UO for a bit more, and then got suckered into this, and now I love it.
yeah. Well, and see, that was the biggest complaint in the forums and about the game that was spread is everybody was coming into the graveyard, the new graveyard, and killing you and griefing you. So most people just quit. Like if you
Hmm.
had 10 people join the game, I bet you 8 of them would quit within the first week of playing the game, most likely because it was so hardcore that they couldn't believe that people were allowed to come into newbie areas and kill you and do all that kind of stuff to you. It was brutal. It's like
Yeah.
being belt fed information with a fire hose. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Uh,
agree. I think this
And
time around, it seems like, and I've played a few different games, but I would say balance is like super good over here. And it's like the one thing that if you don't have balance, you're the whole game's messed up. But I think they did really well with balancing all the different classes and weapons and everything.
I think I just think there's going to be way more information this time around that will help players get in and get going. There was just zero information before, and I think
Yeah.
now that we have so much like more stuff to put out there on YouTube and Twitch and for whatever else that we can get out there, that people are gonna get involved and just look videos up now, right? Like anytime you play a video game now, first thing you do is start YouTubing and Twitch. Look the
Right.
game up, see who's playing it, what's going on, how bad, how good is it, and I
Yeah.
think we're going to see a big change this time around.
Yeah. Totally agree. We have a whole section of videos in our Discord just because, it gets old telling someone 100 times how to mine and
Yes.
refine calcs or something like that. So we'll just be like, hey, go check the video in this channel or something like that. So yeah,
See,
I totally agree.
that's a library. That's basically a library of information for people. And like in MO1, I found that if somebody had a secret, they would just hold it so close to their chest and they wouldn't help anybody else. And you'd have to get really close with those people and play with them for months and months and months before they would actually help you a little bit, which
Hmm.
was a horrible way to go at it, I thought, anyways.
Yeah, we have a
Um,
guy, Merlin,
yeah.
and he is like an encyclopedia of knowledge. And the way we do it is like if you want some of the top tier information,
Yeah.
let's say on alchemy or something,
Yes.
he'll have you do a quest, and he'll give you like, I want you to collect, these different plants, and
Yeah.
there'll be one plant on each side of the
Yeah.
map, and then when you do that, he'll tell you how to do it. So we try to like keep it fun, even when things like that come to
That's
play.
very cool idea. Wow. That is a great idea, dude.
Yeah, we try to like do specialty things to fit all our different play styles. Like we had a guy who liked to shoot people with arrows from outside of town, and I was like, I get it, that's fun, but like we can't be shooting random people at the bank. So we channeled his energy and we said, okay, I want you to go assassinate this guy. We picked a character that we know from some other guild.
Mhm.
Go over there, assassinate him, bring his head back, and
Yeah.
then we'll give you like a special medal or something in Discord.
Yeah.
So we try to do stuff like that to keep it fun.
We have a
Interesting.
bounty hunting system as well for
Yes.
people. Keep everything going.
And if you ever want to post that in Discord so I can look at it, I would love to check that out, fellas.
For sure.
And if you don't want anybody to see it, just tell me so and just PM it to me privately and I'll look at it, but I won't give it away for you.
Gareth, you can screenshot that bounty call and send it over if you want.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
that'd
can
be
do that.
awesome. Awesome. So if people are looking at your guild and they're coming into the game, what kind of location do you guys is going to be your home base type of starting area?
So we always say off the bat, Tindrum is where we're basing out of. But
Okay.
caveat to that is we do a lot. So
Yeah.
right now we have 14 players in an undisclosed location, preparing for our brunch, which is going to happen after our interview here today.
Okay.
So we have like an event there, and then we do things where it's like, hey, we need this stone delivered to Tindrum, so we'll all be out in Vada for a week. So it's kind of just like Tindrum is our home. That's where we try and base out of, but we're very active and mobile. So just kind of stick in the Discord, and you'll find out where we're actually at that day.
Yeah. Well, that's cool though, because every guild that we've interviewed so far, they're trying to cut a piece of property out in a city. And nobody talks about Tindrum, which is the capital city, where most people, when they join the game, are going to end up going, I would think, right? Even if they don't know the guild, and if they see your tag around there a lot, they're going to be like, "Oh, there's guild right there. Let's check them out immediately."
Yeah, I like it because it fosters like a good base for people. It's a super safe city, right? Some of these cities you could just walk in and wipe the guards and you're good. Like Fab is one of those.
Yeah.
But Tindrum, you can't do that. I don't really see. You're going to need a big army to come in there and wipe the Tindrum guards and then start messing around in there. And so it's good for like crafters and stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Fabrinen's just a bloodbath all the time. All the time. Right?
Yeah, we vacation there for PvP.
I think everybody does in the game right now. Jesus. Like you go in town and there's red guys everywhere just running around. You heal a guy and you all of a sudden now you're a criminal and the guards kill you and you're like, these red guys are running all over the place. It's horrible.
What's funny is we showed up and then we left. We had a few fights there and then we clashed with BKO a few times and then we dueled with Seven a few times and then we bailed and then somebody PM'd me and were like, where did you go? I thought you guys were living here now. I'm like, no, that's not what we do.
No,
sorry.
Nobody wants to live in Fab right now. It's just a disaster. Like, man, it needs to be sorted out, eh? The status of Fab right now is just absolutely crazy town.
It's just Medullii with more buildings.
Yeah, less sand. Oh God, eh? So let's briefly talk about. Did you guys have anything else to add, like Grim or Gareth to that? Gareth, to that what we were just talking about in Fab or anything like that? Go ahead, Grim. I seen your speaker come off.
Yeah, not much. The one thing fun about Fab though is if people are currently looking for content still, that is the place to be. There's always skirmishes going around, good and bad both. I have a lot of fun up there.
Yeah. Well, I'll add to that Quad. They're bringing the fights here. I've talked to a few of the guys from Quad already, and they're around the town quite a bit. So if you guys, and there's probably 10 of them at least coming here to siege the town a bit. So if anybody's looking for scraps with them, feel free. So We were going to talk just briefly on your alliances that you have, or fractured alliances, or tentative ones that you have going right now. So if you want to talk on who you're with, and what you expect from your alliances, and what you give to your alliance partners, feel free and just let her haggle.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I would say off the top of my head, our most prominent relationships are firstly with Legion, and also DS, Draco Sylvan.
Yes.
So those are like our major, I would say, an alliance at this point. Both of
Yeah.
those started as a NAP, non-aggression pact, and
Yeah.
we've just kind of been playing with them so much where it's like, okay, this is an alliance now, pretty much. And I am part of a collective that they are a part of, so there's a few other guilds that kind of come along with that.
Yeah.
But those are the two major ones. We met Housey who's the leader of DS,
Yes.
when he was with NWO, and
Okay.
we actually have a NAP with NWO as well. And that whole relationship was built through Housey and myself, and
Mm-hmm.
we have this role called the Royal Emissary that basically handles all our
Yes.
guild to guild relations. Shout out to Happy Hour.
Nice.
So
Yeah. Actually,
that
Housey, I've
relationship
been
got
speaking
built
with
out.
him too. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Go
Oh
ahead.
no, go ahead. I
I
was
was
just going
just.
to say that relationship kind of just got built out there, and then when they split, we're like, okay, well, we still love you, Housey. Like, we want to be in
Yeah.
a full alliance because that's what we wanted with NWO, but they really only left it at NAP. So now we have full
Yeah.
alliance with DS and Legion. Seems like.
Yeah. So NWO is obviously from MO1 too. They were pretty active in MO1. So I did speak to Housey as well last week. I got him on Discord there, and we had chatted a little bit. Seems like a nice guy.
Mm-hmm.
So anything that sticks out in those alliances that you would like to point out to the people listening, because we
Yeah.
know Legion kind of. I'll just give a. We know what happens when you bring up the name Legion. Like, a lot of shit talking goes on with that, right? And DS not so much. I've just started talking to those guys, so. But Legion is very prominent on the server, right?
Yeah. First off, long live Legion. So, but yeah, I mean, I like Vic's style. I realize that some people view them as RPK, and they may even call, like, some of their members may call themselves that,
Yeah.
and that kind of is juxtaposed with our views.
Yes.
But I don't know. I've fought alongside Vic against the griefiest of griefiest,
Uh-huh.
and wiped them out. So I can't turn my back on someone that I've fought with 100 times. And then also, I like how he manages his guys. I like how we've been in GK, like, this is pre-stress test,
Yes.
fighting L or Dread or Wiggs
Wigs.
or
Yeah.
whoever, and we'd wipe GK, and then we'd pull out on Vic's orders. Hey, pull out, and then he'd type in help chat. If you guys want to reset, go ahead and regear, and then let us know when you're ready, and we'll go again.
Come back in. Yeah.
So that is, like, right there. That's our thing. That's our
Yes.
bread and butter. We'll kill you and give you your loot back. Not all the time. Don't take that in writing. But
.com. That's going out on Twitter right now and Facebook.
they said you give my loot back.
Yeah. Where? Oh, great.
But
That's
yeah, I
fabulous.
mean, that right there, I was like, man, this guy embodies who we are. Like, cool guys don't look at explosions. They just fucking make them and walk away.
Yeah.
And that's what he does. And then he is cool enough to be like, all right, let's regear and go again, because that's what he wants. He wants PvP content.
Yeah. That's
And
fair.
that goes after my heart. So, I mean, after
Yeah.
fighting with him and seeing how he is, like, I don't care if they're RPK. I've never seen him do it around me. So I'm cool with them. I like them.
No, I think
and
like you said, he just wants the fights, and they all.
yeah,
And listen, the core of that guild is just like your core. They're old school MO guys, and they have some of them probably have 10 or 15,000 hours of PvP in this game. Like it's incredible. Some of them, you know. So yeah, I get that. I definitely like that. So let's go to the griefer thing here for a minute because you touched on it a few times now. So if you were to pick let's just say top 5, you can put them in whatever order. Griefiest guilds right now, because I have a list, and I'm sure everybody in chat has a list of who the griefiest guilds are. What do you guys think right now? It's
I mean,
okay to point fingers. It's nothing too
yeah,
hard.
I don't care. I think wigs are on the top of that list.
Yeah, okay. You
Um,
do hear a lot of that for sure.
yeah, I mean, wigs, dreadlords, BKO. I've seen those guys be pretty toxic. That's my definition of grief, is like doing PvP but being shitty about it. Talking a
At
bunch of
times.
shit. Like I've had dreadlords tell me like, I hope your family dies and shit like that.
Okay, that's not cool.
So,
That's not cool at all.
That's true grief right there. I always
Yeah,
like to point
that's
out
over the top.
there's a difference between RPK and then griefing. Like you can
Yeah.
go randomly kill people and not grief them.
Yeah. Oh
Like
God.
yeah. So like those people definitely make the top of the list, but
Yeah, that's not good at all. That to me, that's the toxicity of MO1 coming into MO2, right?
yeah.
Because if you ever read the forums in MO1, that's exactly how everything was done. But
Yeah, no
go
shortage
ahead.
on salt and
Yeah.
shitty people in that regard.
Well, MO1 was very, very toxic, but I think a lot, like if we can only name like 3 guilds right now, and to me, like all these guys in these guilds have been fabulous to me because I'm doing the channels and stuff. But if guys are saying that kind of thing to people, like that's beyond the line, right?
I should be
That's like,
clear that
yeah.
this is like a super limited experience.
Oh, for
Like
sure.
it's not something commonplace. Not something I think all dreadlords embody or wigs embody.
No.
I've dueled with wigs. I've dueled with, you know, maybe a dread or two, but you know,
Oh yeah.
it
I wouldn't
happens.
say
I
them
think it'll
all
happen
either.
in any game.
Yeah, I would definitely. Yeah, I don't think anybody's painting them all with the same brush. That's for sure. Because a lot of every one of those guilds, like I've had interactions with guys and never had a problem. So not that I'm
Yeah,
PvPing with them or anything, but I can understand. I can see where people get upset and stuff, and then they just go right to the max. You know, instead of going 60%, they go 110. So
yeah,
anyways,
yeah, and that kind of goes back to the whole black and white thing. Is like we don't like to
yeah,
think like that. We don't like to think that all of XYZ guild is a piece of shit because one guy is like that. So
yeah,
we
yeah.
keep that in mind.
Yeah, like there's been tons of times where I'm in the graveyard and Killux will come by and just poke me with the spear and yell out in chat, "Love tap, Bratwire," and just keep going. And then 2 of his guys will come by and just wave and keep going, not even bother me, right? So, it seems
Yeah,
like that. The wig splitters, I've talked to many of those guys too, and I'm sure they have. Everybody. There's so many moving parts in a guild. I just want everybody to realize, like, to run a guild is a big deal, and it's a lot of work because you can't control everybody and all what they do. Like if you've ever ran any kind of guild of any size, you'll understand exactly what they're saying about this kind of thing. So don't
yeah.
take all that to heart. We're just
I'd say
talking about griefing.
the tighter you try and control it, the more problems you have, the more administrative work you have. It's better to
Yeah.
just get the right people and kind of live by a code that helps guide those people.
Yeah. If you guys have that code, like put that in my Discord and I'll link that at the end too. Maybe we can put that up in the video because I thought that was awesome. I think that was really good. So we'll just continue on with a few more questions. So are you guys being hired out at all? Like as a merc, have you had offers to come and fight for money or anything like that? Or do you think that's in your future? Because most guilds right now people are already talking about, yeah, we'll take money. If somebody wants to hire us to go help them do something, yeah, absolutely we will.
Yeah, I would say we have more resource contracts than we do go kill this guy or that guy contracts. Definitely.
PvE side.
Yeah, we've filled. Gareth helped me with this here. I think it was like a 10k steel order to Legion, and then
Yeah, we did a
I think we
10k
did that.
steel order and within week, I think it was like end of week 1, beginning of week 2 of the stress. And then week 1, we did a 220K Sabura powder with Legion as well.
Jesus, boys, that's awesome. Wow. 200K, you said?
Yeah,
220.
220K for the
220K.
Sabura powder. That was definitely within week 1 of the stress test.
So that's amazing for the PvE side then of you guys, eh? Like materials, eh? Just
Yeah.
wow.
I mean, I would
Yeah.
say shout out to the guys because that's what you get for getting people that are like there because they want to be and they're bought in, and we put up the plan like, hey, this is the contract we got. We had a contract channel. This is the contract that we got. This is what everyone's working for. If you want to help, please feel free to dive in. And then all of a sudden we have all these people mining and getting ready for the big transport and stuff like that. It's real fun.
So you're the first guild that I've interviewed out of the 5 guilds now that has brought up anything like that. That's why I love these interviews, man. That's crazy. So all you guys that are out there and other guild leaders that are in the chat, pay heed to that. Like that's an amazing part of the game right there. When you guys want PvP, but you're in a spot where you can't get sab powder, so these guys are farming it and selling it to you. Like that's contract work. That's amazing. Wow.
And we've actually been able to turn that own machine inward too. So we've been able to set up teams in various locations and have them, all right, your team, you need to get 100,000 calcs and bring it back to Tindrum, or you need to get 100,000 sab powder and bring it over to Vada. And through that, we've been able to manufacture a lot of steel for ourselves as well, and other products. We have tongue steel and stuff like that now.
Yeah.
So we're getting up there.
So when the GK thing happens, then so are you guys able to get up there and do some farming in the Teffer mine? Then I guess you're going as a collective, right?
So
you don't have to give away any information if you don't want. You can let me know in Discord later. Just divulge what you want.
So I think the whole March on GK thing initially is supposed to be a secret, right? We're going to secretly walk over there with a big group because we know what we're stepping into when you step into GK. So
Absolutely.
We'll go there with a big group. We're going to mine a bunch and we're going to take it back. That was our thing. But then we're like, let's see if we can get a couple other guilds to come with us so we're even bigger and even safer and we can stay there even longer. And then the next thing you know, it's like, oh, everybody knows you're coming. The whole server knows you're coming. Everybody's there waiting for you. And we got this large group, the largest group I've ever seen, doing a 3-hour trek across Nave to make this one goal happen, which is like amazing. So shout out to all the different guilds and people that were involved in that walk and everything. I know it didn't end the way we wanted it to, but to coordinate like that, get across the map, I thought that was pretty cool of everybody.
We'll just point out that those guys were ready. They were very ready. Like sorry, go ahead.
I had guys going, oh, this is a trap. This is a trap. This is a trap. And we just didn't have the right communication set up to get that to the head of the line. But
the guys that you were going to fight against a lot of them were XRPK, so they have this shit down packed. They've been doing it for years, baiting and trapping, and it is what it is. And when you give them 2 hours to get ready or whatever it was, I would have rethought the whole plan myself, actually.
Geez.
Anyways, it was.
But we do that. We do want to try and get over there and bring some back, because that's obviously the next level, is getting those rocks and processing them, and then you get to the next level of steel. But I think at this point we've been able to manage some limited success with that, just enough for a few guys to have a few different weapons of it. But we do want to try and find a way to make that happen, whether that's working with some of the guilds that are there, or marching again and not dying this time.
Well,
we'll have to figure it out.
There's a tax, right? Like they'll make you pay a tax to use everything, and you'll go. Maybe that's the better way to go. I don't know. But we all know that GK will be the most contested area on the map. Always, it always will be, because of the Teffer mines and the blast furnace, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So Grimscar, how do you like fighting up in GK, brother?
Man, I love it. That stuff is a blast. A lot of people like to get really defensive and salty about it, though, but it's
Yeah.
all good fun in the end. But yeah, the content's amazing.
Yeah, I'm gonna bring my characters up there this week and hopefully get some content for everybody as well, so we can see what's going on up there. But there's definitely some salty videos out there right now, and anybody that's in chat that doesn't know what GK is, like that's where all the you do all the refining for the high end metals in the game. So like I said, all the bigger guilds are going to try to hold that area and charge taxes for you to go in and use the blast furnace or the Teffer mines. So if you go up there and you get guild up there, don't expect to get your armor back. That's almost a 100%.
I would say
Unless-
never expect to get your armor back.
Ever in the game, but
Yeah, do not expect it.
Yeah,
No,
it's just one of those
yes.
things. Don't ever get attached to equipment. Material can be replaced.
yeah. Just chat there. Okay, so let's move on to what your goal is for your housing, kind of like your keep, where you. Well, I don't know if there's an actual how close a keep area is to Tindrum. Is it? I'm thinking on the map. It might be west of Tindrum. There might be a keep spot there. I'm not sure, but just basically lay out what you guys think you're going to do for your housing and everything coming up here when we go to persistence or when the keep stuff releases.
Yeah, there's some things that are sort of in the works. We are looking at a keep that would be close to Tindrum. I'm not sure exactly where that's going to pop up, but I mean, we're either going to go for player housing in a location that is beneficial, or a keep, or both. And certainly we want to do it all near Tindrum,
Uh-huh.
but we do kind of have our eyes on a few different spots. So we're not putting it into stone yet because we've done that so many times. And we started as our hometown as Meduli, and then now it's like, oh, we're Tindrum or Tindrum / Meduli. So I'm going to try and refrain from putting it into stone, saying we're going to be here or there, but
Yeah.
we're definitely looking to get a keep. We have a team that is going to be focused purely on gathering.
Yes.
So shout out to Briar and Briar's Gatherers. They have a weekly schedule where, Monday is wood, Tuesday is stone,
Wow.
Wednesday is this or that, and they're just that's what they do. They enjoy gathering, whether it's flowers or flesh. They're all about it. So they're going to be focused on that, and we're going to be focused on getting our PvP skills ready so we can protect them when they need it, and then after that, it's probably all going to go in towards the keep.
That's organization right there. That's really nice to hear, because that's having the materials. If you already are stockpiling the materials all the time, then you don't have to go out and do a big surge. You just do a little bit each week, and everybody does a little bit, and then they just keep stockpiling. Because once you have a keep, once you get the keep, then you're into taxes, right? Immediately, and then you're into paying out, and you got to have a ton of stuff stockpiled. Just a second here. Putson said the closest keep spot in MO1 was northeast of Meduli, near the Colored Forest. Yeah, I think I remember that spot, if I'm not mistaken. Wasn't it? No, it wasn't NWO that had that. But anyways.
Yeah.
So,
and part of it too is making sure that the guilds that we're working with, that we're positioning our chess pieces in the right spot. So that way we could back each other up if assets get sieged or anything like that. So that spot looks nice. I mean, there's some spot. I think there might be a spot closer to Vada that we could be looking at. So it just kind of depends on where they drop and where our friends choose to set up too.
So, obviously we know Kodo wants Meduli, whether they have it or not. There is definitely a couple keep spots around there, right? There was one west of Medudu, which was on the open spot, in MO1, and then like the one Putson said is at the top of the colored forest on the hill there. I remember that spot, and then I do believe there was one south of Medulla going close to Vada. So
Yeah. And I'm not sure
yeah.
what their claims are as far as exactly what spot or spots they're going to be picking, but we respect Kodo, and I'm sure we can work something out with them where, you know, we're not going to be stepping on their toes, because that's the last thing I want to do with them. I like their guys and their team.
Yeah. Oh, they got a bunch of great guys.
Hmm.
Yeah. So, Grim, did you want to add anything to that?
Nah, nothing for that part.
Sir Gareth?
No, nothing in particular. I would note on the side, or like to point out, I did post that bounty call for you in your
Thanks very
MO2
much.
screenshots.
Send them the
okay.
code too, Gareth, if you could.
Yeah.
I'll
We'll throw that in. Maybe Minik can throw that in the chat if you guys want to see the code that they're going by. So I kind of want to touch on what you guys think of the status of the game, like, and where you see it going and where you see your guild going in this with the status of the game, kind of thing.
So I know a lot of people are looking forward to mounted combat. That's going to
Big
add
time.
another element, right? On top of
Yeah.
saddlebags.
Yeah.
So,
Okay. Yeah.
so I
Two
think those are
top
the big
things.
things that we're kind
Yeah.
of waiting for. Like, I've been around since Bhakti was the place to be pre-stress
Mhm.
test. And, you know, all we wanted then was magic and mounts.
Yeah.
So, I mean, at this point, all the masses really want is saddlebags, MC, and housing and keeps and stuff like that. So yeah, I mean that's our outlook on it. I love the game. I mean, they could not change a thing and we'd still be here rolling. Like, we make our own content. That's the thing too. Is like, we don't sit around waiting for, oh, I just want, you know, I'm gonna log out until saddlebags are
PvP.
in. Like,
Yeah.
or yeah, or PvP. But like,
Yeah.
I hate that attitude. Is like, oh, I'm just gonna log out till next patch. Like, dude, like, get some fun, man. Get a life.
Yeah.
Like, you can go out there and you can do things like have brunch with your guild
Yeah.
and try and kill another guild. You know?
Well, there's so much content in the game just now, and there's only like 15% or whatever spawned in the map, but there's so much you can still do. Like, you guys are creating your own content by doing these contracts. I'm still blown away that you guys are doing that kind of thing in the PvP, and I can see that you got your code that you're living up to, and then you guys are making your guys in your guild go out and pick flowers to learn recipes, so you're not just handing it to them, so they know it's a bit of hard work to get done. Like, that's crazy. That's good
Yeah.
stuff, guys.
Yeah. I mean, even the assassination mission, like,
Yeah.
I would have given that to myself, man. I would have loved to sit outside a city, stalk a guy, try and kill him, try and get his head, try and bring it back to my guild leader. Like, I don't know. You can make your own content. You don't need saddlebags for that.
No, not at all. Oh, that was good, dude. That's good. Grimscar, you got anything to add into that? That was good.
Yeah. That's just one thing. I feel like a lot of people they're so hung up and focused on the PvP,
Yes.
but there is a lot of very organic content that you can find if you go in there and just interact with people. I'm sure a lot of people see him. He streams too. Mythomatic. He does the whole role play with the little dwarf Ogmere guy.
Yes.
Actually ran across him in Vada one day, and I was laughing
Cool.
because one of the guys from Legion was trying to enforce a helmet tax on him,
Yeah.
and he was staying in character, all confused. And that
Yeah.
little interaction ended up with me being a tour guide with him to help them go find the zoologist. And we had like a whole little RP thing broke out from it,
Yeah.
You
That's
just got to go out
cool.
there and find it. It's a sandbox,
Yeah.
Choose your own adventure, find the stuff. Don't expect it to be given to you.
See, like, that kind of thing, RPing in the game, and I fully believe this game is capable of doing mass RP in this game. Massive.
Mhm.
You just give the guys the opportunity. Sir, did you want to add anything into the status of the game and what you think and where you think it's going? And what you're kind of waiting for, I guess, as well?
Not necessarily. In terms of where the game is going, my hope, especially with TE and the way that we are, is that we can help direct the game into a good path. Like I don't want to see it end up with like the same crazy toxic community MO1 had, because I think that's when the population actually drained out. I think this game should last for years because it has the depth that a lot of people are looking for, but are scared to get into just because of the community and how terrible it was. Well, I want to see that change, and I hope that I can be a part of that change, and this turns out really, really great.
Yeah, that's a good point, Gareth, because I totally agree with and that's what we embody with TE is like, just come, just hang out, don't feel like, I mean, yesterday we were saying it like you kind of need a guild to do something like cool in this game. Like you can do normal stuff with yourself, but you need a guild to really get the full taste.
Yeah.
And that's the hardest thing, is just, who am I going to go with? What are they about? Are they going to be cool with me and who I am and stuff like that? Man, we got people from all walks of life, so I would say come TE.
Yeah. And exactly what Sir Gareth was talking about is like, there's so much to do, and we just got to get rid of more of the toxic shit and get more people involved. And I think doing these guild interviews is helping dramatically. So I really believe in this, and I think that if we get enough of these out there and people, new guys that come into the game and see it, like, we got to give them the good side, because if you went to the forums and read the forums, you'd never play the goddamn game. You know what I mean? Everybody be like, whoa, I'm not going in there, man. They're killing you in the spawn areas 20, 30 times and laughing at you and spitting on you. Like that. Well, that's what happened. MO1 was terrible for that. And I found that Henrik, that guy worked so damn hard, and they treated him so bad on the forums, and all he tried to do was put out a game that was good for everybody to play. And like it got to the point I was like, guys, like, lay off the guy. He's trying as best as he can. Well, he doesn't know what he's doing. I'm like, he's got a 5-man team. He's doing the best he can.
I don't even go on MO1 forums for that.
No.
Or not forums or Discord even. Just because it's a bunch of like try-hard vets and salty people about some dynamic of the game that just doesn't make their life perfect. So I just stay away from it. And if you're in a guild right now and you're like, man, my guys are try-hard vets and they are salty about the game too, bail on that guild and come over to TE. Because you'll have more fun with
something
us.
else. Yeah, go find the better parts of it. There's like, you guys have opened so many doors with the stuff you just talked about. Like I said, no other guilds that we have on here so far have even mentioned anything that you guys have. Not even close. You know what I mean? I think the cohesiveness of a guild and having lots of people in there doing their thing and creating the content for the game is where it's going to be at. Which, when we start talking about that, let's lead into kind of like the PvE side of the game. Like, how big is dungeon crawls going to be for you guys? You know what I mean? Like, that sounds like it's going to be right up half your guild's alley.
Yeah, we're going to have Grenham. Shout out to Grenham. He's going to be our PvE. In UO, we called it PVM. I'm not sure if there's a difference, but
no, probably not.
PvE,
Monsters.
PVM. Yeah.
Same thing.
So he's got a group where that's pretty much what his guys love doing, right? So Briar's group loves gathering. Grenham's group loves doing player versus monster and dungeon raids and stuff like that. And so you can come to TE and join one of these specialty groups and do what you like doing. And you can be a part of another group and be like, hey, I want to do some PvE tonight. I'm going to jump over to Wolfpack, which is our PVM group.
So okay, the PVM group is your dungeon group, then, you're saying?
Yes.
PVM.
Yeah.
And the guy's name was what again? Grenham?
Grenham. Just like Granham, but with an E.
Gran. I gotcha. Close enough. All right, that's cool. So yeah, so it looks like there's going to be a bunch of from what I understand from Henrik, excuse me, and a few of the other devs and stuff, that they're really going to focus on the AI of the PvE content this time around and make it much better. Now, I think you guys are probably all on board for that by the sounds of it, because you're going to be obviously a guild that does a lot of gold farming as well, I would think. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah,
But,
no, that's totally right.
Yeah.
We want to specialize in that for sure, and that leads to other things. You make more gold, you can do more things with your guild. So
Yeah. So Gareth, do you want to add on to any of the PvE content, or you, Grim?
Yeah.
Nah, I think go ahead.
Go ahead.
You first.
Well, the only thing I'd like to add, is TENet wasn't necessarily my first stop, right? I went to a couple other places first, and one of the things I found was I was looking at PvP initially because that's a big portion of the game. And one thing I kept hearing everywhere was stick to the meta, stick to the best of the best, otherwise you're not gonna fit. But one thing I especially like stressing in TE is that's not how we look. The meta is what you want to play, because that's again what you're gonna enjoy. If you like spears and somebody gives you a two-handed sword and says use this and nothing else, you're probably not going to enjoy playing it as much.
Good point.
I like to point out that with TE as well, the meta is what you want. We've got the PVM, we've got just gathering, we've got our PvP groups. We like to spread out and just everybody enjoys being there.
Hmm. Grim, do you want to add on to that?
Nah, I think I pretty much summed it up there. I don't really feel I need to add too much more.
Okay. So we're going to start taking questions from the chat. So if you guys have a question, put it in brackets, like a question, and maybe Manik, if you want to do the questions, you can. That would be awesome. And if you have anything you want to ask Manik,
No,
these
I
guys.
think you covered it up fully, so it's good.
Well, these guys are great to interview. I just want to shout out to the channel there. You guys are doing great. I'm sorry I'm not taking your questions right now, but we'll take them, in a couple of minutes. If you guys are ready, you can start putting them in there, and Minik will sort through them for you. So we're we'll do a recap after, but we're going to give the TE Guild here a chance to say whatever they want, off the cuff, whatever you want. You got a couple minutes. Just go ahead and say whatever you want. Plug your guild in any way, shape, or form. So you can go ahead and take it, and any one of you guys can just say whatever.
all right,
Go
Grim,
ahead
why
and-
don't you go, and then Gareth, and then I'll go.
I like your first.
You want to go first?
I let Gareth go first. Just a second.
Okay,
Go
go
ahead.
Gareth.
I don't necessarily have anything to follow up on.
Okay.
Well, you covered it pretty good on the last thing there, where you're talking about passing
Yeah.
weapons back and forth and not
Yeah.
doing the meta, and making your own decisions on how you want to play the game, which is amazing, right? Because you'll see the vets, they'll hand you and they'll say this is what you need to play to be the best PvP guy you can be, which isn't always the way.
Yeah, I think that everything we've said kind of sums it up really well. It's like whatever you think, about TE, like just try and rethink it, because we're really just here to make the best gaming experience for our players and for outside guilds as well. So yeah, if you want to have a guild that does things and is not just aimlessly walking around, or has salty leadership, or leadership without head on their shoulders, or whatever, cruise on over, come kick it with us, and if you like it, join, and we'll have fun.
Perfect. Grim, do you want to add on to that real briefly? Just a quick recap of what you enjoy about the guild or whatnot.
Yeah, I think we've pretty much kind of summarized it up already. Said a lot of good things, but the key takeaways here is if you see TE out in the wild, unless you're a known enemy, we're not going to attack you. We don't go out looking, just to kill and grief. But we'll definitely bring the fight. If you like fighting and stuff, challenge us, duel us. Don't be salty. Let's spread goodwill to everybody. If you get ganked, GG, that's part of the game. Roll with it. I like to see the community as a whole, just like TE, pay it forward. Let's build this environment up around here. Let's be inviting to people. We can do that even in war.
Absolutely. Okay, so I'll just do a quick recap from what I understand of the guild, and you guys can correct me if I'm adding anything in wrong here. The recruitments are open basically to anybody. Like he said, it was an open funnel to the top. So Gareth is kind of the recruiter right now that they have. Grimscar is new to the TE, and he's one of their champions right now. TE is I'm gathering kind of a neutral guild. They're not into the griefing. They do PvP and PvE content. They have alliances that are in stone right now with Legion and DS and old school NWO. They have their code. It's called a Trinsic code, which is really cool, guys. You should take the time and go look through that. A lot of their players are from UO, so they're old school UO players, and they understand the game quite well, the mechanics, that kind of thing. Because if anybody played UO, you knew it was hardcore. We touched on griefer guilds, which most people in the game kind of have the same thing about the Wigs, Dreadlord, and BKO, which it is what it is, and we're going to get them on. They can defend themselves in any way they want. PvE part of it, they do contracts to fill orders of, say, steel, granite powder or whatever kind of thing. Could be wood, anything like that. The status of the game, they're kind of looking for the saddlebags to come in, the housing and the MC and the keeps. So they're kind of involved in that, which a keep build is kind of what they're looking for down the road. Inside their guild, they do missions for players to help them understand that the game is not just handed to you all the time, right? There is work involved, and the guys that have got to the top in the game in MO1 are going to be at the top of the game in MO2, and they're going to teach the guys how to farm necessities. Like they do have assassination missions, which are probably given by some of the officers of the guild. And then they have potion making, like farming herbs to get things so they can teach them the recipes. Like I said, they just don't give it out to them. They make the guys work for it, which is puts a good work ethic into them. Now, the PvE part, they are going to do dungeon farming to a certain extent because that's where most of the gold will be, right? So if you guys are PvE, PvM kind of thing, they do have a guy that looks after that, and his name is Grenham. So correct me if I'm wrong. How did I do on that recap for you?
Yeah, that was solid. That was perfect.
Okay, good. If there's any questions now, we got a couple minutes left, guys. Just throw a couple questions out there real quick. Nick, do you have none for me? I don't want questions for me, guys. We're here to talk about TE, and that's it. So Range said he'd roll with TE any day, so you can get in the Discord here, and when we put the video up, we'll link it, and you guys can go over there and see them for joining up. Yeah, join the Discord, and we'll get you set up. So if you guys have no questions, we're going to conclude. We'll just wait here a second to see if we got any questions from the chat. Grimscar's in there. Okay, so yeah, you can put it in my Discord right now. Manik will put it in the channel for you right now, Grim, if you guys have your links that you want to put up there. We'll do that for you right now. Just a shout out to the chat. Like, we had a good turnout. I appreciate you guys all coming along. I know it's a little early for the West Coasters, but we got to try to accommodate our European friends as well at times as well. So I want to thank you guys, TE, for coming here and taking the questions and not dodging anything. And I really, really appreciate that. So if you guys have anything to add, you can go ahead, and then we're gonna stop recording here.
No, thanks for having us. We really appreciate the opportunity.
All right, great.
Thank you.
Great. Yeah.
Thank you.
Nick, did you have anything you want to toss in there?
No, not really. I was just
you guys
monitoring
join
stuff,
Yeah, thank you very much. And shout out to Manik. She does a lot of work in the channel for us, guys, to get everything organized and keep you guys running and help out the guilds and getting everything organized as well. Just join our Discord and we'll get you TE, no problem. Because we want other guilds in here too, so I can talk to people daily when I need something from other guilds or whatnot. All right, so we're gonna shut down the recording. All right, everybody, thanks very much. That was awesome.